Is capitalism good as an economic model? Hi, in this video, I'm gonna give 4 arguments to see if capitalism is a good economic model. Let me know in the comments what you think. Argument 1. Very low taxes. So, in capitalism, compared to socialism, taxes are low, and you can see the difference of the outcome of this in these specific countries, in Singapore and Venezuela. Singapore is a safe haven for capitalism, and the taxes there are about 0% to about 24%, compared to Venezuela, where the taxes are about 34%. So the people in Singapore are much richer, comparatively speaking, than the people of Venezuela. And one reason for this is the tax rate. Now, the lower taxes in capitalism allows a great deal of initiative for the common person and the uncommon one to create something, like a company or a dream. You are not simply taxed constantly by the government because they want more money for their own pocket, or it goes to a fake plan that they have to help the people. It's very beautiful how you are actually rewarded for your creation in capitalism instead of being punished like in socialism and communism. Like, you can get tax cuts for creating jobs or tax cuts for renting out housing to people. And one more thing that is good about lower taxes is that a welfare state is not created, or not a big one at least. Because one of the most evil thing a government can do is to make their people be depending on them economically and not pursue a higher economic status by risking or experimenting with different companies and ideas to achieve that higher reward. Argument 2. Getting entire countries out of poverty. Another incredible thing that capitalism has done and still is doing is helping people and countries to rise up from poverty. And it does that by trusting the individuals to get the skills that they need and letting people trade like in the old times. Except there is no central group or king or dictator that forces the people to do this. It's simply the nature of humans to trade and create alone and with each other for the benefits and prosperity of us all. Some famous or well known countries that have risen out of extreme poverty or poverty are Sweden, India, Nigeria, Singapore, the UK, and the most shocking one of them all is the communist country of China. Yes, China has taken almost its entire population out of extreme poverty, and not by communist means, but by free trade and capitalism. One interesting fact is that by the birth of capitalism about 200 years ago, there were about 60 million people who were not living in extreme poverty in the world back then. But now, or 2020, there are about 6.5 billion people who are not living in extreme poverty. From 1990 to 2015 alone, about 1.5 billion people got out of extreme poverty. Another interesting fact is that during the 19th century, the poverty rate was higher in the world's richest countries than the poorest countries today. If those facts are not making you think about how awesome capitalism is, then please go ahead and read more about it. I found some of this information from Johan Norberg, who was a leftist anti-capitalist and now is a staunch pro-capitalist. So that has to count for something. Argument 3. Government's involvement in the economy. In capitalism, compared to socialism and communism, the government has very little involvement in the economy, and that is on purpose, because the only thing that the government is there to do is to ensure the free trade keeps going and that the right of trade of the individuals is not infringed upon by other governments or other individuals. So, in capitalism, the economy is almost only open/free market, which in turn will make the economy grow faster and stronger than any other economic model. Argument 4. The open/free market. And finally, we have the free/open market. That is the basis for capitalism and the basis for competition on any level. That in turn looks to you to see what you have to offer to the world. And you will either succeed greatly or you have to try again in a different way. One thing that socialism misses out on, because they are busy taxing everybody and having a centralized body to oversee who can trade with who. The biggest thing that the free/open market has allowed is to uplift millions or even billions of people from extreme poverty. By allowing free trade to exist, people who are wrongdoers will disappear from the marketplace because the market will uplift those who do their due diligence. It might take months or years, but the result will be the same, and free trade will prevail and make those who participate in it healthy and wealthy. So, all in all, capitalism has and still does wonders for countries, communities, and individuals all around the world. So if you ever get someone who is an anti-capitalist, then you can maybe ask them what economic system has helped the most people in our history, both generally and specifically. Sure is not communism and it's not socialism. Please write in the comments what you think. Goodbye.